and as mentioned before, I am a freshman from Sequoia High School. On a cold, black night in San Francisco, 1942, a small, 7-year-old boy hurriedly packed his last few remaining belongings into a suitcase nearly as big as he. Around him, his brothers, sisters, parents were doing the same, each taking as much as they could physically carry. Soldiers knocked on the front door, ordering whoever was inside to come out immediately. The boy looked around his home one last time. He was leaving his home, his father's business, his pets, and his friends for an unknown world. Since the boy was deaf, he could not hear the soldiers' shouted cries, but when his family began to gather up their items and run towards the front door, he helplessly followed, taking his own suitcase along. That boy was my grandfather. The only crime, the only offense that sentenced him to 4 years in the dry Utah landscape was being of Japanese descent. The attitudes, thinking, and fear that sentenced my grandfather to 4 years in an internment camp is resurfacing right here, right now in America. Because there are people who fear certain places where people live, or fear someone's religion, America has banned all its citizens from 6 Middle Eastern countries. Of course, this isn't the first time America has done something like this, banning an entire population just because of their origin of birth or religion. The Chinese exclusion laws, for example, they were signed in 1882 by President Chester A. Arthur because of the influx of Chinese immigrants to America. The white Americans believed that the Chinese immigrants were going to steal their job, that they were racially inferior. According to the Harvard Library University Open Collections Program, the Chinese Exclusion Act banned all Chinese immigration for 10 years, and they prevented any person of Chinese descent from becoming an American citizen. Now, Executive Order 9066 was signed on February 19, 1942 by President Franklin D. Roosevelt. According to the 1982 Personal Justice Denied Journal, which was a report on the Japanese relocation, the decision to incarcerate was based on race prejudice, war hysteria, and a failure of political leadership. 120,000 people were removed from their homes and moved to internment camps, even though many of them were American citizens themselves. In 1989, President George H.W. Bush sent redress payments and letters of apology to those who had lived in the internment camps. But for many, like my great-grandfather, the apology came too late. With Trump's travel ban, it blocked citizens of 6 Middle Eastern countries: Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, Yemen, and Syria for 90 days, and blocks all refugees for 120 days. President Trump issued this ban with concerns to terrorism, referencing 9/11 often in his speech, which may remind one of the Pearl Harbor attacks, which led to Executive Order 9066. But to many, the ban smacked of nationality-based discrimination. Instead of vetting possible terrorists based on their past actions and affiliations, the ban not only groups entire nationalities and religions, but it is also a violation of the Equal Protection Clause and due processes. This ban will have many unintended consequences that are detrimental to the United States. For example, the University of Buffalo's international students are more likely to join the STEM program. If international students were to be banned, the STEM program would be losing advocates and workers for that field of research. The American economy is driven by the advances in Silicon Valley, biotech, and innovation. Banning some of the strongest minds in STEM, who just may happen to be immigrants, will have a completely negative effect on the American economy. Another negative impact of this ban affects our aging baby boomer population. The Journal of National Medical Association expects a physician shortage of 92,000 doctors in 2020. Over 7,000 doctors seeing 14 million patient visits a year are specifically from these 6 banned countries. Therefore, it is in the United States' best interest to seek admittance to these doctors from the banned countries to help take care of the medical needs to our aging population. Recently, the Statue of Liberty plunged into darkness as an unexpected power outage hit. It's hard to ignore this timely symbolism of the outage during a period of uncertain status for immigrants. The famous plaque at the bottom of her feet reads, "Give me you tired, you poor, you huddled masses yearning to breathe free." And it seems ironic and contradictory to today's feeling of immigrant exclusion and fear that is pervasive in today's politically charged society. My mother is an immigrant. Although she is a permanent resident, having lived in the U.S. since she was 5, I can't help but wonder if she will be subjected to the ever-increasing prejudice and exclusion just based on the origin of her birth or the color of her skin. We're all immigrants here. At one time or another, if you trace your lineage back far enough, we were all once as huddled masses yearning to breathe free. Thank you.